What just came out of Fort Dix is gonna shock you. An inmate revealed something he probably shouldn't have said out loud. Footage of Diddy from inside the prison is going viral on social media, and people are talking about how he's being targeted. After 50 Cent's documentary aired on Netflix, new evidence and testimony connecting Diddy to past crimes were uncovered. And in this video, we're breaking down everything that's happened to Diddy in prison, along with an in-depth look into a new criminal investigation that started last week.
He's just a working class stiff while he's at Fort Dix.
So when you're at a prison and somebody says, you read any good books lately, Diddy is the answer.
He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library itself.
But you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people, get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting.
with a TV.
So, yeah, Diddy's working in the prison library now. Looks comfortable on camera, helping inmates find books, acting like everything's normal. But he's not as comfortable as he looks. The attacks have been coming at him since the day he got locked up.
Also have to keep in mind that Diddy has a lot of money, and they're gonna want that money, and they're gonna get that money out of him, whether he wants them to or not. Also have to keep in mind that Diddy is famous, so if you were the dude who beat up, stabbed, or clapped Diddy's cheeks, that gives you a certain amount of clout in prison.
Diddy's been attacked multiple times behind bars. These weren't random incidents. These were warnings. And here's what makes this even more suspicious. When Diddy was first arrested back in September, prosecutors hit him with RICO charges. But despite this being a RICO investigation, no other names were listed. It's obvious Diddy wasn't working alone, and now someone's trying to make sure he stays quiet about who else was involved.
Diddy is going to spend definitely 2+ years in a federal prison. I just want to lay this out right now. He is a target because they talked about this in court. They said somebody tried to shank him already, and that he is a big target. Are you concerned that Sean Diddy Combs could be assaulted, violently assaulted? Is that a thing? Because based on what was said in court, it feels like a thing.
Yeah, it clearly is a thing. I mean, they're already, and he did not want to make a big deal of it. They already tried to shank him once at the MDC.
His own lawyer confirmed this in court. Someone tried to shank Diddy at MDC, and the only reason it didn't happen was because a corrections officer stopped it. But the media barely covered it. Why? Because certain people don't want this story getting too much attention. Now, Diddy's not your average inmate. This man had connections to some of the most powerful people on the planet. Bill Clinton, Obama, Trump, even the British royal family. When you're that connected, you start believing the rules don't apply to you. So when Diddy got locked up, he immediately started name dropping. Specifically, he kept telling other inmates that President Trump was going to pardon him. Diddy genuinely believed Trump would save him. He was so confident that he sent a formal letter to the White House requesting a pardon. And you know what Trump said?
You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Well, not anymore. After more than a year in prison, Diddy has asked the White House for a pardon, and Donald Trump is shutting him down.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I haven't seen him. I haven't spoken to him in years.
Yeah, that's according to the president himself, who spoke to the New York Times on Wednesday, explaining the request came in a letter. Details of the alleged letter haven't been divulged, but Trump did say he's not planning to commute the mogul's sentence. He didn't say why, but it's a move the president has been thinking about for months. Here's what he told reporters during Diddy's marathon trial in May.
He used to really like me a lot. I don't know. I would certainly look at the facts. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact.
Trump shut him down completely, said he hasn't even spoken to Diddy in years. And you know why Trump refused? Because 50 Cent made sure of it. Every single time Diddy thought he had a way out, 50 Cent showed up to block it. When word got out that Diddy was trying to use his Trump connection to get a pardon, 50 made it his mission to remind Trump exactly who Diddy really was.
He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of sex trafficking and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I gotta admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, you know, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down.
50 Cent didn't just troll Diddy on Instagram. He actively contacted the White House to make sure Diddy stayed locked up. And when footage of Diddy in the prison library went viral, 50 posted it with a caption mocking him. This isn't just beef anymore. 50 Cent actually paused some of his business ventures to personally call victims and get them into his Netflix documentary. He's making sure Diddy can't buy his way out and can't intimidate anyone into silence. 50's been uncomfortable around Diddy for years, and now he's using his platform to make sure everyone knows why. His documentary didn't just cover the recent charges. It brought up old cases, connected dots that law enforcement missed, and gave victims a voice. And apparently, Diddy noticed. Because one day, after 50's documentary dropped on Netflix, 50 received something unusual at his hotel. A bouquet of flowers from Diddy.
50 Cent some damn flowers while he locked up, bro. All right, we all know Diddy is mad about this whole docu-series that 50 put out on Netflix and is #1 going crazy, so you know he mad. Now, according to 50, all right, these are some warning flowers. Y'all know how Diddy used to get down. You know, he used to send people shit in the mail. He'll send a nigga blow up a car. Y'all know how he get down. So if he mad, clearly he's mad about this documentary. Bro sent 50 some flowers at his hotel while he was in Miami, bro. Now, I ain't gonna show the address on these flowers, but 50 posted the whole address. Now, in the caption, 50 said, "What kind of gay shit is this? Diddy send me flowers at Club 11, LOL. LOL, why all the foreplay? Get busy, you know I'm stupid." Then he commented again and said, "A warning, I'm 90s grimy. You don't warn me, LOL." So y'all know why Diddy sent this. He ain't, you know, he ain't send it because he happy or proud of 50 for dropping this goddamn docuseries on his demon ass.
The lawyers, when they were speaking on Diddy being in prison and the circumstances him being in prison, I didn't never hear about this, and nobody ever said anything about this. And I want to know if it's in the prison records. They said one of the guards stopped a dude from shanking Diddy. Now, I'm like, if he was doing all this positive shit in jail, and they was talking about he was all the inmates loved him and they was employing him and doing standing ovation. I wonder what inmate was trying to shank him. Was that one of the Tupac? Was that one of the Tupac fans, or that was one of Biggie fans? Because they said that the guard, they said that in court. One of the lawyers, one of the guards stopped one of the individuals that was trying to shank him, bro. And that was crazy. Nobody, I never, that didn't leak. Everything leaks from prison, but that didn't leak. Nobody wrote home and said, "Yo, dudes is in here trying to stab Diddy up." But the lawyers mentioned that today. I want to see if they're going to investigate that right there. You know what I'm saying? And base that, or he probably used that, base that on trying to help Diddy getting into one of those camps or one of those programs.
That's a good question. Was it a Tupac fan? A Biggie fan? Someone hired by people Diddy hurt over the years? Nobody knows. But what we do know is that Diddy's own former bodyguard, Gene Deal, recently spoke out about Diddy's chances of surviving behind bars. Gene Deal used to be a corrections officer himself before becoming Diddy's bodyguard, so he knows exactly how prison works. And when asked if Diddy could handle long-term prison time, Gene's answer was surprising.
But you knowing Diddy personally, do you think it's possible he might take his life?
It takes a certain individual to prepare himself to do a lot of years in jail. From the lifestyle that he had, I'm not saying that he can't. I just don't see him able to do time behind bars. Maybe if he be in a camp type situation, that's a possibility. But based on the lifestyle and what he's done and what he's accomplished, if he had to go behind those bars for a lot of years, I think that he may commit suicide. He'd do an Epstein.
Gene thinks Diddy might pull an Epstein, and considering everything that's happened so far, it's not as crazy as it sounds. Diddy's never had to face real consequences before. He's never gotten his hands dirty. He's only been a gangster in music videos, but prison is a different world. The people in there don't care about his money, his fame, or his connections. In fact, those things make him more of a target.
Sean Diddy Combs seeking an immediate release from prison. This week, his attorneys urging a federal appeals court in New York to reverse his conviction on prostitution-related charges or direct the judge to lighten his 4-year sentence. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joining us. Diddy's lawyers, Jeff, officially filing that appeal this week. Tell us more about their argument and also the chances it succeeds. What are you hearing?
So Diddy is currently serving that 50-month prison sentence after being found guilty on those related charges over the summer. In their appeal filing, his lawyers now arguing the music mogul was treated harshly during sentencing by a federal judge who let evidence surrounding charges that he was actually found not guilty of actually then influence his punishment.
His lawyers are saying the judge was too harsh because evidence from charges Diddy was found not guilty of influenced the sentencing. It's a long shot, but if it works, Diddy could walk free sooner than anyone expects.
Trump recently announced that he's not going to be pardoning Diddy.
I seen that.
Yeah. Are you surprised?
Yes.
Me too.
I thought he would have pardoned Diddy.
Yeah, because they used to be homies back in the day.
I think maybe Diddy didn't do what he was supposed to do.
What was that?
You know how that go, man. You know, hey, listen, the Chevy in the parking lot, the truck is open. You know, them pardons ain't just happening to happen. This a fact. Not those type of pardons. But if Diddy does right and if he's in the drug program, he'll be home later this year anyway.
This year?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. He's not coming home this year.
Want to do the math?
Let's do the math.
Okay, let's do the math. 50 months, right? He got 50 months.
Right, about 12 months time served?
Hold on, he got 12 months time. Do they take the 15 from the top?
Yeah.
Okay, so minus his 15%. That leaves 42 and a half months. Minus, he had,
about 12.
12 months time served? 12.
So that's 30.
That's 30. Minus another 12 months for the drug program. That's why he went there. You do the drug program, they
18
take
months.
12 months off. 18 months minus 6 months for the halfway house. 12 and a half months. He got sentenced when, in October? Was it October?
I think that's too soon, but yeah.
Bro,
all right, listen, if
I'm
you're right,
doing all the deductions.
Listen, I'll be happy if
you
Diddy's
do know
free.
That's why he wanted the drug program.
Right, to get a reduction.
You
I get
it 12 months off, and then they send you to the halfway house 6 months early. So that leaves him with 12 months.
When you do the math with time served, good behavior, the drug program, and halfway house credits, Diddy could get out much sooner than his 50-month sentence suggests. But that's only if he survives long enough. And speaking of survival, Diddy's not just broke spiritually, he's broke financially too. Investigators discovered he sold his $30 million private jet.
You got the final sale price. It says it was not disclosed on the paper, but you got new information.
Well, listen, it runs from between 20 million to 30 million. Of course, they did not tell us what the final sale was. And it's also anonymous. We don't know who bought it.
Listen, I'm not mad at that person. Whoever that is.
Keep it anonymous.
Keep it anonymous. Like, listen, when I'm at the dispensary, I check out anonymously. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want y'all to know what I'm getting in the bag. So same thing applies here. If you're buying Diddy's PJ, you might want to Keep that on the low.
Keep that on the low.
You know
Like
what
you
I'm
said,
saying?
you probably get a paint job after that.
You
know
feel me?
what I'm saying? Cover that up.
Just put primer over the Bad Boy logo. Like, yo, we gonna cover this up real quick.
Can you imagine what that pre-purchase inspection was like?
Yo,
man.
Yo, we was talking about this off
Check
mic.
all the cracks and crevices.
Big Room Raiders energy. We're going in there with the black.
Yo, you gotta get the black light.
Black light.
They don't even want to check the engine. We don't care about the engine.
We don't care about none of that.
Check the carpets. Check
That's
the chairs.
Rip out. We gotta reupholster this whole joint.
Everything.
Now, this was actually sold due to legal pressure. So maybe he's using these funds to, pay the lawyers, pay the staff, because I know the staff was also waiting for some money while he is incarcerated.
Right. That's what happens when the boss goes down. You know what I'm saying? Them checks slow up.
The same jet he was showing off in music videos is gone, sold off quietly to pay legal fees. And whoever bought it probably needed a black light and a complete reupholstering job. But Diddy's money problems are nothing compared to what's coming next. A brand new criminal investigation just launched. The LA County Sheriff's Department is investigating Diddy for incidents involving Jonathan Hay, Rihanna's ex-publicist, and CJ Wallace, Biggie Small's son.
Sean Combs now facing new assault allegations, this time from a man in Florida. According to ABC News, investigators in LA received a report from a police department in Florida where the alleged victim lives, and now they are working on the case. Eyewitness News anchor Mike Marza in the newsroom with the very latest details. Mike.
Well, David, here's what we know. The new allegations of assault against Sean Diddy Combs come from a music producer who went to police in Florida, but the alleged crimes happened in Los Angeles. Jonathan Hay is his name. That's the person who filed the complaint, and he's one of the John Does that filed a civil lawsuit against Combs in July. The first alleged incident was in September of 2020 in LA. Hay alleging that Combs performed acts in front of him and asked for oral sex. In a second incident, in 2021, Hay claims that CJ Wallace, the son of the rapper Notorious B.I.G., took him to a location where two men put something over his head, he says, before Combs forced himself on Hay several times. Combs is currently serving out a sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey, following his conviction earlier this year on two related charges. Combs' representatives have not yet responded to this lawsuit.
This isn't just another civil lawsuit. This is a criminal investigation involving allegations from 2020 and 2021. And the fact that Biggie's son is allegedly involved makes this more complicated. But that's not even the biggest story. 50 Cent's documentary didn't just expose Diddy's recent charges. It uncovered new evidence connecting Diddy to the murders of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls.
My favorite thing about 50 Cent's Netflix Diddy documentary is how he built a timeline off of this information. And one of my favorite parts of this documentary is them really getting into the timeline of events when it comes to Tupac and Biggie. And it really gives us a lot of perspective from people that were close to the situation, and a lot of people allege in this documentary that they believe that Diddy was very jealous of Tupac. And they pretty much go through everything from the quad incident and Tupac believing that Puffy was behind it, like he said in the Vibe interview, and they lay out this whole timeline of the downfall happening perfectly, in my opinion. We are even hearing from Greg Kading, the detective that worked on Tupac and Biggie's case in this documentary. He is the investigator that did that proffer agreement with Keefe D way back in 2008, where Keefe D alleged that Diddy tried to offer him $1 million to take out Tupac and Suge Knight. And Tupac's trial with Keefe D is coming up very soon in early 2026, and we know that Diddy's name has been dropped at least 200 times during these proceedings already. So this is one case that I am definitely waiting for and I am going to cover. In Keefe D's 2008 proffer agreement, he alleged that Diddy's friend Zip Martin is the one that gave him the weapon that was used to take out Tupac. And Keefe D told the investigator Greg Kading that Zip Martin had a special compartment to keep this weapon in his car that he drove to Las Vegas. And in this documentary, we have Greg Kading confirming that Zip Martin did drive the same type of vehicle that Keefe D alleged to Las Vegas this night. And then during this documentary, we heard from the former president of Bad Boy, Kirk Burroughs, who alleged during this time, Diddy had him hiring a whole bunch of people and getting cars to drive to Las Vegas. And he is now very curious into why Diddy wanted to do this. And he said in his opinion, he now believes that Diddy was behind taking out Tupac.
Detective Greg Kading confirmed on camera that Keefe D said back in 2008 that Diddy offered him $1 million to take out Tupac and Suge Knight. And in Keefe D's proffer agreement, he named Diddy's associate, Zip Martin, as the person who provided the weapon used in Tupac's murder. 50's documentary connected the dots. It showed that Zip Martin drove the same type of vehicle Keefe D described to Las Vegas that night. It revealed that Kirk Burroughs, Bad Boy's former president, was told by Diddy to hire people and arrange cars for the Vegas trip. And now Kirk is on record saying he believes Diddy was behind Tupac's murder. Tupac's family hired attorney Alex Spiro to investigate Diddy's potential involvement. And Diddy's name has been mentioned over 200 times in Keefe D's ongoing murder trial.
We are following new developments in the case of the hip-hop mogul who is facing RICO charges in New York, Sean P. Diddy Combs. Court TV has just confirmed that the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of information to come on that one.
This is no longer just speculation. Tupac's family is officially investigating Diddy. And with Keefe D's trial coming up in March 2026, there's a real chance Diddy could face charges related to one of hip-hop's most infamous unsolved murders.
I get it. When you have a case that's 5 years old, it's hard to get overwhelming evidence that meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick, because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved. It's personally from people talking about it and saying this is what happened. You need some more information to come forward to prove that.
Legal experts say it's possible, but they need more evidence. They need witnesses to come forward. They need physical proof. But the fact that we're even having this conversation shows how much has changed. A year ago, Diddy was untouchable. He had connections to presidents, royalty, and the most powerful people in entertainment. Now he's getting attacked in prison, begging for pardons that never come, selling off his assets, and facing investigations into crimes from nearly 30 years ago. The pressure is coming from every direction. Prison attacks, federal investigations, new criminal cases, the Tupac murder investigation, and 50 Cent making sure none of it gets buried. Diddy thought he could wait this out. He thought his connections would save him. He was wrong. Drop your thoughts below and subscribe, because Keefe D's trial starts in March 2026. If Diddy's name keeps coming up like it has been, this could get way bigger than what he's already facing.